All right, well, welcome back to step two. This is our best practices to work from home series. And as I shared earlier, 20 years at Strategic Results, running this company as a virtual agency, both with our team, brokering out to different experts, the best experts to serve you. And now we've got a team of 12 employees who work for us, all of them virtually in their own work from home office space. So we've done this for a long time, and we already have been thinking for months now that we need to bring our success on how to work digitally to the rest of the world so that they can learn from us how we've created an amazing corporate culture that feels like a family. Like when we talk about working together, we talk about linking arms and having each other's back. And we, just like any other organization, have our ups and downs with that. But there's something really powerful being able to create that corporate culture with people that you've never been in the same room with. And I'm here to tell you that when done correctly, you can have that same sense of family, connection, really deep caring for those people. And when you've got that deep caring, it carries into the work and the productivity and the being able to handle anything that comes at you, like the situation that we're in today. So with that being said, I want to share with you, today we're going to focus on environment and how to set up your environment for success. So let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that it? There's a couple of other extra tips here. So 4 top things that I'm going to share with you today. The first is, and some of these might seem like common sense, but they're not. I've watched other people who work from home not do some of these things, and they really make a difference in your quality of work, in your productivity, and even more important than that, in your self-esteem. When you're not doing some of these things, you don't feel as good about it. And so during this time of potential isolation and social distancing, let's look at keeping our self-esteem where it needs to be. So dedicated office space in your home. It doesn't matter if it is the kitchen table or if it's in the TV room or it's your bedroom. Create a space that is your workspace. I don't recommend that you put it in your bedroom, by the way, for a whole bunch of reasons. But whatever that space is, make it a dedicated workspace. That's where you're setting up your office when you're working from home, and it will be the same place every time you sit down to work. This is super important for your mindset to shift from home to work. It affects our productivity and some of the decision making that we have and our ability to focus. So dedicated work from home, 100% of the people that I polled, both on my team and outside of my team, all listed this as one of the top environmental considerations when you're working from home. It really creates that going to work. So let me see if there's anything else. No, dedicated work hours. I get that we've got flexibility to work whenever we want, and my team works around the clock based on I've got the moms, the single moms that work while their babies are sleeping. They're working in the middle of the night, and then they take naps during the day. They'll go to sleep early morning, they'll wake up, manage their kids, and then take naps during the day. They've created a lifestyle that works for them so they can be the focused mom and a great mom, and they can be the dedicated employee at the same time. So, however, I could never do that, by the way. I need my sleep and I need it to be at night. So for me, that's a really clear boundary that I've got is I turn everything off. I shut down hours before the end of the night so that I can relax and move into that place that I need to be to sleep well. If I'm working at night right before I go to sleep, I don't sleep well. So for me, Those are some really clear things. Dedicated work hours for me since I've moved to Ireland have shifted because I've got clients in the United States and I need to be available for them. I used to be 8:30 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. Those were my dedicated work hours when I was in the States, and they still are when I'm in the States. Actually, they've moved more to like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. when I'm in the States. I'm not there very often. Here in Galway, my dedicated work day starts around 11 o'clock in the morning and goes until 7 or 8. So, and yes, I do long work hours, and sometimes I take a break in the middle of the day and walk the prom or take my dog out onto the beach. Those are some of the benefits that I get from working from home, but I do have dedicated work hours, and my family knows that if I'm still working after 8 o'clock, they get to start to talk to me about, are you sure you still want to be working? You're not supposed to be working. We need to eat dinner. We need to chill out. Let's do something. So those dedicated work hours, and my kids are older, not younger, so they do get to help me with that. They're not in here screaming. It also allows my body to know, like, it's work time now, so that's super important. The next thing is planned breaks. Like I was saying, sometimes I will have a long day, but I will take off in the middle of the day, and I know that I've got client meetings starting at 3 o'clock every afternoon. And so I might at 1 o'clock in the afternoon book out of here and go walk the prom, take a walk through my little village that I live in, or just get out of here and do something. Some days that are not the greatest days, the kitchen needs to be cleaned. So I'll take an hour and I'll just run through the house and clean it. But I take those breaks. I will say that while planned breaks is a super important tip for most people, for me, now that I'm living here in Ireland and it's raining all the time, I will do spontaneous, unplanned breaks. If the sun comes out and it's going to stay that way, I will rearrange my next couple of hours to get out there in the sun and enjoy it. And having the flexibility to do that when you work from home is it's one of the greatest benefits. So, but make it work for you. Lastly, non-work activities and hobbies. If you're working from home, that can consume you and it can bleed into every single aspect of your life. Make sure you've got clear things to do that are not work, that you can switch to at the end of your work day, not just, okay, it's time to stop working, but what are you going to do? If work is right here in the house, what is the thing that you're going to do that helps you switch from work to not work? And this is a really important mindset shift, physical shift, being able to move your body from one place to another, but also doing something differently. Some people will run to the gym. I did have my days back home where I loved my front porch. And so I would shift to having a glass of wine on the front porch. Now, the glass of wine allowed me to stop. That was a hard stop, because if I'm drinking a glass of wine, I'm not going to be working. You can see that was a slippery slope, potentially. I will still do that when I'm at home in the States. I don't do that here. I have different things that I do. Again, walking the prom, just getting out. For me, going into my kitchen and planning dinner is also a really great shift of energy. So whatever that is, make sure you've got things that you can do. Now, my extra tips, things that I used to tolerate when I went to work every day, and now I don't tolerate now that I'm at home working from home. The first one is the messy house. I just can't stand a messy house, especially my kitchen and my bathrooms. When you're working from home, when the whole family is home, Saturday chores don't cut it anymore. We got to be cleaning every single day, because the amount of people home all day long every day messes the house. So clean kitchen. These are super important things that allow me, if I know the kitchen is clean, then I can sit here in my office and work and focus. If the kitchen is not clean, I'm continually thinking, when is my next break so that I can go clean that kitchen? So notice what you tolerated before, but you can't tolerate now, and then manage it. Do something about it. Ooh, another thing that I do now that I never did before is my pretty flowers. I always have fresh flowers in my house, in my office, around my office. Sometimes I go, like the last few weeks, I've been clipping all the daffodils and making my own little vases of fresh flowers. And then I also go to the local flower shop. Um, I don't go out and get coffee all the time. This is part of what I budget into my life is fresh flowers. I didn't need it before. I need something now that just when I walk by, it makes me smile because I'm here all the time. And my kids aren't always the ones that make me smile. So I've got flowers to help do that. So those are my tips for setting up your environment for success. To recap, dedicated work office space, dedicated work hours, planned breaks, and make sure you're clear about your non-work activities and those hobbies that you want to keep going. And maybe it's just a puzzle in the other room in front of the TV. Whatever it is, make sure it's all planned and focused. Be on purpose here. Be strategic. You will be a happier person because of it. Thank you.